We're ready.
I mean, motion.
Let's give it a couple more minutes.
Okay, sounds good. Austin on the call?
Yes,
Thank you.
it's Regent Austin.
Wonderful. Good morning, everyone. This is Malu Gonzalez in the system office. I see that we have all of our committee members present. So with that, I'll turn the call over to Chair Scott to begin the meeting.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for making the call. Daniel and I had an opportunity to review this agenda prior to the meeting. At this time, I'll turn the meeting over to Daniel, who will present the Planning and Construction Committee agenda. After each agenda item, I'll ask for the approval to move it to the full board.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have a brief agenda today.
Let's do the roll call first, if that's okay.
Oh, I guess so.
And Regent Scott, I see that you're present. Regent Austin?
Present.
Thank you. Regent Gordy?
Present.
Thank you. Regent Lee?
Present.
Regent Flores?
Present.
Thank you. Do we have any other regents on the call? Thank you. Moving to our system staff, Chancellor McCall?
Here.
Daniel Harper?
Here.
John Hayek?
Here.
Mike Winmute?
Here.
Nelly Herrera? Here. Derek Alexander?
Here.
Peter Mass?
Here.
Carol Fox? Here. Ramona Strickland?
Here.
Nisa Barger? Here. Do we have any other system staff on the call? Oh, Sean Cunningham. Here. Thank you. Moving to our institutions and beginning with Lamar University.
Jaime Taylor,
Mark Robinson.
and that's it for Lamar University.
Thank you. Sam Houston?
Amanda Withers, and I believe Elisa White is also on the call.
Thank you, Amanda. Sol Ross?
Carlos Hernandez.
Bonnie Albright.
Thank you. Texas State?
Kelly Dampus.
Eric Algo.
Great, thank you. LIT? And Lamar State College Orange?
Tom Johnson, Wendy Elmore, and Mary Wicklund is listening in.
Okay, let me try leaving.
I think someone is, okay, and Lamar State College Port Arthur. Okay. Did I miss anyone? That concludes roll call. I'll go ahead and turn it to you, Chair Scott.
Go ahead, Daniel.
All right, yes, sir. So we have a brief agenda today. We have one item that requires a vote. And the first item is the policies and procedure manual for planning and construction. Overall, this document's audience is really for the architects and the contractors that we do business with, but it does go to the board for approval. The two most significant proposed changes: we're proposing to increase the threshold for a major project from $1 million to $2 million. This is in light of over a decade's worth of inflation. By doing so, projects under the proposed $2 million would not be reported on the CIP, and it would therefore increase the delegated authority to the presidents of the 3 state colleges and Sol Ross from $1 million to $2 million. So they would manage locally projects at $2 million or less. It also restructures sections to better align with the actual project flow. And then we have included a new section developed by NISA that outlines the public art program. Mr. Chairman, that concludes the summary of the first action item.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Well, I'm in favor of the change. And do I hear any objections to moving this item to the full board? Hearing none, without objection, we'll move this item to the full board for final decision.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The next item is informational, and it's the 2024 Campus Condition Report. This report is required by statute, and it requires that annually we report to the board the condition of the buildings and facilities. As you'll recall, 4 years ago, we partnered with a third-party estimator to review the current maintenance demands across each institution. So this year, we've used their reports. We've added inflationary adjustments to their figures, as well as removed projects that the institutions have already addressed. I'm going to note that this is for industry means, so it's more of a planning tool for their use. To make it relative, we also include the estimated campus value, so we can compare deferred maintenance to the total portfolio. And you'll notice when you look at the summary, if you've had an opportunity to be on the campuses lately, the figures will kind of align with how you see the campus. Lamar University is looking at a deferred maintenance of around 9%. And I'll note that 20% of that deferred maintenance amount is associated with the Gray Library that's currently been renovated. Sam Houston's is right at 5.5%. Sol Ross's reports at 8.8%, but 30% of that is associated with the Mountainside dorm that has been offline for the better part of 2 decades. Texas State is at 7%. What I'll note here is that Texas State has been in a new construction phase. And as they move through that new construction, this will allow them to focus on renovation as they renovate the new departments or the departments into the new facilities. LIT is at 3%. Orange deferred maintenance is 6%. And Port Arthur is at 15%. I'll note that half of that, so 7% of that, is going to be associated with Madison Monroe, which is currently under renovation, and the Gates Library. Mr. Chairman, that lays out, or that finishes the layout for the informational item on the campus condition report. And if acceptable, I can move to the next informational item.
Let's see if there's any discussion from the committee members. Is there any questions or comments on that? Hearing none, go ahead with item 3.
The next item is our quarterly planning and construction report. This is a report that you see in every board packet. It includes the executive summary, and you'll see that we are right at 1.6 billion, which half of that is in design or construction. And then I will note of the 1.6 billion, 1.1 billion of that, or 70%, is associated with Texas State University. And then the following tables is a summary of each of the active construction projects, who our architect and contractor partner is and where it is in the life cycle. And Mr. Chairman, that concludes the layout of the planning and construction report.
Comments, anyone? Go on with number 4.
Yes, sir. And the last item is the consent agenda. We have the authorization for Lamar University to contract with Schneider Electric for an energy savings performance agreement. The estimated value is $12 million. This is something that we recently did across the street at LIT and had good success with. The next item is additions to the current CIP. The first one is at Lamar University, which would be adding the Schneider Electric project to the CIP. And then we have 4 projects at Texas State, the Alkek Student Success Center renovation, adding Star Park to the CIP. You may recall that we were looking at a P3 endeavor for a secondary building at Star Park. That has not materialized, so we're looking to bring that project in-house, so adding it to the CIP. A renovation at the J.C. Kellum building. And then Texas State has a Hilltop Housing 2 project on the existing CIP, and we're looking to increase the value meaningfully so we can accommodate 1,500 beds as well as a 500-seat dining hall. So that concludes my layout of the consent agenda.
Very good. Any comments on the consent agenda? If not, thanks everyone for calling in, and hearing no other comments or anything, this will conclude our telephone meeting today. And the time is 11:11. And for the record, the meeting started at 11:03. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Bill. Sure, Scott.
You.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
So the final.